Hey guys, it's your brother in Christ, Weston. Thanks for joining me today. So today's article comes out of End Times Headlines. Let's get into it. The mic is back. Just got it in like 5 minutes ago. So I ordered one last night and ordered the wrong one, even though Amazon said you purchased this, but there's multiple options. And so I had to reorder it. And he already said that on the last video. Anyways, we're here. Okay. This is important. And this involves Russia, NATO, and prepping, which is something we've talked about a couple of years ago when all this was really starting. So let's read. It says here, Europe is preparing for WW3, World War III, with survival guides, mass evacuations, huge bunkers, and conscription. It says here, geopolitical tensions continue to simmer across the globe. Europe is taking unprecedented steps to prepare for its citizens and infrastructure for a possibility of a large scale conflict, often framed as potential World War III. From survival guides to mass evacuation plans to construction of massive bunkers and the reintroduction of conscription, governments, excuse me, are governments across the continent are signaling a shift towards heightened readiness. Sorry, I just got done eating. Access or across Europe, governments are distributing survival guides to equip citizens with the knowledge to endure the crisis. This is something that we should all do, regardless, not just in a times of where something could happen. Like we should be practiced on this, and me included. According to the report, by the Guardian, German Nordic countries like Sweden, Finland, Norway have taken the lead in issuing booklets and developing apps that advise on building bunkers, stockpiling food, and surviving without electricity. These efforts stem from growing concerns about potential Russian threats since they are like literally on the front lines with Ukraine since they're backing them in that way, with experts cited in the report suggesting an attack could materialize within the next 5 years. Similarly, Reuters noted that Sweden reissued its Cold War era pamphlet, If Crisis or War Comes, in recent years, updating it to address modern threats like cyber attacks alongside traditional warfare. Messaging is clear. Self reliance is key in the face of disruption. Funny how they go back to old warlike terms and then update them. And it's like, I'm sure they would tell you that that stuff is outdated, yet then they're using outdated stuff as probably some of the best ways to protect yourself because even though technology has become more advanced, sometimes we forget about the simplicity of what we do when older ways have been done and how they keep people alive. Um, Beyond individual preparedness, European nations are devising large scale evacuation strategies. BBC News reported that Poland, situated on NATO's eastern flank, has been quietly developing contingency plans to evacuate major cities like Warsaw in the event of a sudden conflict. Local authorities have identified transport routes, temporary shelters reflecting fears of escalation near its borders with Ukraine and Belarus. Meanwhile, Deutsche Welle highlighted Germany's efforts to modernize its civil defense protocols, including simulations of mass evacuations from urban centers. These plans, these plans, dormant since the Cold War, are being revived as a precaution against rapidly deteriorating security landscape. This is, I mean, I would say in light of everything, this is good. Like should be something that's done like as practices for just all nations in general. Um, Meanwhile, Deutsche Welle highlighted Germany. Okay, I already read that. The construction and refurbishment of bunkers are also gaining momentum. France 24 detailed Finland's extensive network of underground shelters capable of housing over 80% of Helsinki's population. That's awesome. These facilities, maintained since the Soviet era, well, that's good, are now being upgraded with modern ventilation supplies to withstand prolonged sieges. In Switzerland, Al Jazeera reported that the country's famous bunker system, enough to accommodate its entire population. How dope is that? That's so cool. Remains a cornerstone of national defense policy, with recent inspections ensuring readiness, that they would take care of their citizens, and it mattered to them that they had bunkers. It's literally it makes me think of when scripture says Revelation 6, um, couple of paragraphs down, that they dug themselves into mountains and said the rocks fall on us and covered us for the wrath of the Lamb has come, and who is able to withstand his wrath. You're hearing my son right now because he has the window open, so a little bit of cold air is coming in. Um, Having a bit of a cough there, but he's working through it. He's good. It's a beautiful day here today. Um, Germany Two is revisiting its past, with the New York Times noting a surge in private bunker construction as wealthy citizens hedge against instability, though public shelters remain limited compared to Cold War highs. Perhaps the most striking development is the return to conscription in several nations. CNN reported that Lithuania reinstated mandatory military service in response to Russia's action in Ukraine, a policy echoed by Latvia, under consideration in Estonia. Further west, the Washington Post covered debates in Germany about reinstating conscription, uh, uh, which was phased out in 2011 as a means to bolster NATO commitments. In Scandinavia, AP News has highlighted Norway's longstanding draft system, now intensified with increased training cycles, while Sweden reintroduces conscription. Targets both men and women to ensure a robust defense force. These moves reflect a broader European acknowledgement that voluntary enlistment may not suffice in a major conflict. While some view the preparations as prudent, others see them as alarmist. The Times, via posts found on X, suggested that EuropeNet actions might fuel public anxiety rather than calm it, with critics arguing that the focus on World War III scenarios overshadow diplomatic solutions. And we talked about this the other day. It's like, you are, at what point does do wars, not because we want bad people to win and we don't want good people, bad people to win and good people to lose. It's that, when does it become about protecting your citizens? When does it become about the place that you've been given to manage, to be king, to be president, to steward over for a time? When do those things matter? And when are you putting yourself at risk for hurting your own citizens? You see what I'm saying? I feel like there's not a line at any point. And nations are not ready to defend themselves. Like Ukraine is not ready to defend themselves against Russia. I get it; they're bigger, and yet they need help. And at the same time, like, when does this thing actually stop? Till NATO and Europe and all of them are ran dry, kind of situation? Then America's involved. You see what I'm saying? Like, when does it stop? When does somebody else's war not become our war? I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. I don't have the answers, but my poor analogies here are, I think that everybody should be prepared, and you should have food ready. You should learn how to do a campfire. You should learn how to, like, go out in the woods and just camp for a little bit, like protect, unless you have, in case you can't homestead, in case you can't be home, in case there's nuclear or something. I've got gas masks. I remember a couple of years ago we were talking about this. I have gas masks. Probably have to get my son an updated one because now he's older. I don't know if the mask will fit anymore. Filtration systems on the mask, I need to update those as well, get a couple of extras. I have water filtration, I have backpacks. I need to get a camper, just like a camper that we can have. Clothes if it's cold, stuff that's gonna keep us warm, solar panels. Like, people think that this stuff is, like, just, I don't know, you're in some dream or something that is, like, it's never gonna happen. It's because you've never been in war. You've never been in war. I haven't either, and you've never felt like you were unsafe if you live in America, because America has created this bubble that makes us feel like we're so free, and the downfall of that is that we're so free, we become lazy in the things that are actually gonna end up undermining us because we weren't prepared. Those are my thoughts. Yeah, those are my thoughts. Anyways, guys, that's video. If you like the video, be sure to like the video. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. We haven't talked about this in a while, but the fact that we have multiple countries now doing this in Europe, talking about this. There's another article over here from Infowars talking about this, about France. It says France to direct its citizens to become preppers as it prepares for nuclear war. And you see it. There's a family here that says Doomsday Preppers. I'll take a picture of it, and you see with the gas masks. Like, that was a real thing, and it feels like it's antiquity, like it's just thousands of years old. It doesn't make sense anymore. It'll never happen again, and that is your downfall. That will undo you, unalive you. That will be your ultimate weakness when you are unprepared. And that's what I'm talking about. It's not about scaring you. It's about knowing how to protect yourself. When somebody breaks into your house, are you ready? What are you going to do? Fight them off with knives and forks and spoons? What? They have a gun. You have a fork. You're for sure dead unless you survive somehow by the grace of God. Your whole family's gone. There's no man. I'm not saying because it's not a woman. I'm saying that because women don't feel this way. I'm saying there's no man who would ever accept that, ever. 1000%. It's the switch just kicks on and you immediately see red. We've talked about it. And it's like, I will die here to protect them, and it's the most it didn't have to be this way. No man wants to see that where their loved ones are taken right before them when they could have protected them, and this is what I'm talking about. You're a king of a country, a president of a country. You should be teaching your citizens how to do this and prepare them for things like this, and it should be so normal to do this in the event that some happens that you make disciples, like the Bible, you make disciples how they teach how to do it, do it, do it. Why? So it can go on. Prepare your nation for war, because if you don't, you're all gone if you don't win, or you're slaves to another country. It sounds like a pipe dream, it sounds like a movie, and yet you have nations right now doing this. I'm not wrong. I know I'm not wrong. And I know I'm not silly, I know I'm not radicalizing it. It's because it's real. And they're using old stuff that they had to use before in World War II, the Cold War, stuff like that. That's wild, man. Anyways, that's the video, guys. This is enough of me yapping. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.